Welcome, brothers and sisters. Man. I feel a little better today, man. I feel a little better today because I, you know, I'm letting go of America. I'm letting go of America, man. We gotta let go. We trying to hold on to something wicked. You know, we don't see our place in it. I don't normally feel that anxiety, but sometimes I feel that anxiety that others put off. I'm very empathic like that. Today a lot of people have been putting off that energy, that spirit of impatience. The spirit of impatience. And I don't feel it. I don't feel that spirit of impatience coming over me. Several people have been driving, like right on my bumper, like hurry up and get out the way. like what are you doing? I've been feeling a lot of people in the line, just being all impatient, man. But I no longer feel this impatience. I've been letting go of this impatience because I'm letting go of this society, you know. And as a so-called black man, we are always searching. We're searching for our place. I mean, as black people in general, we tend to be searching for our place in this dead society. Our very survival is at hand. Very survival of the so-called black race is at hand. I'm just, and I'm just not feeling it, because my mind is elsewhere. My mind is on other things, very positive things, very uplifting things. My mind is not on the things of the hustle and bustle of America, you know, as I prepare to leave this place. You know, I'm preparing to leave this place, man. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, I do have plans for the brothers. I'm not leaving the brothers, but I'm leaving this place. You know, and that's a beautiful thing because that's a huge weight and a huge burden off of my shoulders. Not having to worry about the wickedness of this society and the just having to exist in it, just having to survive in it. I know a lot of black people are gonna be, well, white supremacy is global. It's global. Nah, it's not global like you think, man. His wickedness is global, but America is the epicenter of the stronghold of evil. Babylon itself, So any place other than here, it will be 100 times less stressful than here, or in any kind of European westernized country. It'll be way less of a burden on your mental state, man. And I'm finding myself getting lost in in leaving this place, you know, and not the anxiety has fled. A lot of the anxiety has fled. Even sometimes you don't even realize that you're dealing with a lot of anxiety. But the 5 steps in the moral code, a lot of times I'm not really dealing with this anxiety on a personal level, but I feel for my people, man. My people are dealing with this anxiety, this very hard burden, man. Just especially, I mean, it's like it's easy for someone to say, you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps when they were born with bootstraps. You know, when they were born with bootstraps, when they never had to live with this heavy burden. You know, just being a so-called black man and what that entails. You have no friends. You have no friends. You don't even have friends in your own household, in your own family, man. Especially for the brothers. You know, I mean, you don't even have friends in your own family. Everybody wants you gone. Everybody looks at you like you're the problem. You know, it's your fault. Everything that goes wrong is laid at the foot of the so-called black male, the black man, the so-called black man. That's a heavy burden, man. But black men carry that heavy burden, and we just keep on moving forward as best we can, man. But no, but who's to say? You know, you can't speak on that unless you've been in those shoes. You can't say that unless you've been in those shoes. It's easy for others to state certain things. You know, it's easy for them to be all flippant about it, and you know, it ain't no big deal. You know, y'all tripping. You know, it just doesn't exist. You know, they've said this so much that they have us saying it to ourselves. While we're going through it, we are actually acknowledging that our pain means nothing. It's not real. Black man, your pain, your struggle in America is not real. It doesn't mean anything. It's a figment of your imagination. You know, it's not even what I meant to discuss in this video. But it is what it is, man. You know, what I meant to discuss in this video is the 5 steps in the moral code. I'm always talking about the 5 steps in the moral code, whether you understand it or not. You know, I see black men getting their asses handed to them all over the place. And, you know, the 5 steps in the moral code just becomes more prolific by the second. More prophetic, excuse me, by the second. You know, if you look at all of these black men, and then you go back, I mean, at least to the 5 steps. The moral code, that's another issue. You know, the 5 steps in the moral code represent the 5 things that you should do and the 5 things that you shouldn't do and the 4 things that you should do. Based on biblical principles, man. It just becomes more prophetic by the day as you see more and more black men getting their asses handed to them. I told these men, I asked these men, not these individual men, but these collective males, to get on the 5 steps and adopt the moral code. The 5 steps are to stop selling drugs, stop smoking weed, stop smoking cigarettes, stop drinking alcohol, and stop committing crimes. Now, in our latest debacle with that one black male, you know, that one black male, you know, I forgot his name. You know, too many black dudes getting their asses handed to them at one time. It's just hard to remember all these names. The one guy at Wendy's, the guy that got killed in the Wendy's parking lot. You know, man, the 5 steps in the moral code. Stop drinking alcohol. You know, but you know, the Bible doesn't specifically state that we should not drink alcohol, but it says not to get drunk. Not to be drunk. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all dig it up. Y'all bring it out. But you know, every time one of these black males gets their asses handed to them, I mean, at least in 95% of the cases, one of those 5 steps has been broken. You know, and where do black men get this stuff from? Where do black men get off with this white man do it too shit? You know what I mean? This sound like black women. White women do it too. White women wear weave too. But you wear weave as a damn fashion statement. God damn it, it's not, excuse my language. It's not as if you're wearing this weave, as like a I mean, it's not even a fashion statement. It's like you have to wear weave or else. A lot of you have no choice in the matter. It's like, damn, if you didn't wear weave, you be bald headed. I mean, just be tore up. But hey, that's what happens when you put all them chemicals in your hair. But black men do the same thing with their white man do it too bullshit. If the white man does something, the black man believes that he has the right to do. Didn't Bill Cosby do that? He thought that because he got a lot of money that he could do it too. He could do it too. You know, he could go out with the white man, party it up. You know, drug all the hoes because the white man was drugging the hoes, the prostitutes. They're prostitutes, man. I mean, what? They were there for a reason. They wasn't there to, I mean, they wasn't there to they weren't there just to be there. They weren't there to have a good time. That's a lie. They told you they was there to have a good time. That was a lie. And they was prostituting themselves. But as I stated, man, where do black men get off with this white man I could do it, white men do it too bullshit? I've asked you black men to get on the 5 steps and adopt the moral code. You know, the 5 steps is very important, man. It's very important. Why is it important? Why has it not been defeated to this day? Why will it never be defeated? Because it is based on your survival. We can't afford to be drunk. We can't afford to be drunken. We can't afford to be, I mean, obviously you can't afford to be drunk at Wendy's getting something to eat as a black man. You can't afford to be high. You mean to tell me you brothers got money to smoke weed, but you don't have money to invest with the brothers and the sisters? That's part of the moral code. Invest. But this is about your survival. This is about your very existence. And if you, I mean, it's people, I mean, black men tend to look at things like on an individual level, on an individual level. They don't, and these men actually have children. I mean, they look at things in a very individualistic way. And they just so happen to have children. That's a weird thing to me, man. That's a weird thing to look at things as an individual when you have children. Because everything that you do is going to affect your children. If you're wasting money on alcohol, that means that your children are they're going to be missing out on something. That's money better spent somewhere else. That's like when most black children, they come of age, they just go out into the street with nothing. Nothing. Like, damn, I mean, and we don't see the correlation between the things we do and why our kids are out here getting shot and killed? Why these kids, why these children are out here, excuse my language, why these children out here getting, their behinds handed to them? We don't see the correlation in that. We don't see that by leaving something for our children when they turn a certain age. Like, black children are supposed to become adults earlier. I mean, we got to get off this white man do it too bullshit. Like, just because the white man said his kids become adults at 18, it doesn't mean your children have the luxury of becoming an adult at 18. Your children become adults at 13 and at the latest 15, you know? But I mean, that means that when you turn 13 as a black male child, you put away stupid shit. You put away the PlayStation, you put away the childish bullshit. Okay? I'm just speaking in terms of how it should be. This is about your survival. We can't afford to have our children wait until they're 18 for them to wake up and start getting their shit together and start deciding, what they're going to do with their lives. We can't wait that long. We can't afford to have our children doing that. Or black people can't. Not the brothers and the sisters, but the black people can't afford to have their children doing that. Cause hey, look at what's happened to their young children and their young adults. They're being shot in their homes. They're being slaughtered in the streets. They have no protection in their community. Black children think they have the luxury of waiting till they're 18. I mean, when you turn 18, it's too late. It's too late when you turn 18 to start thinking and acting like an adult. It's too late by then. Because most of these little children, they develop these badass habits. They develop a lot of bad habits, a lot of laziness, a lot of mama's boy, mama's girl bull crap. And by the time they turn 18, what good are they? What are they? I mean, what good are? I mean, what are they going to offer to any black man or black woman or brother or sister, fellow man? What are they going to offer to their fellow man when they turn 18? They're going to be a burden. They're going to be leaning on them. They're going to be taken from them. They're not going. They don't have that sense of giving, of building, you know, doing positive things, of giving. Giving should be at the center of every black male's existence. Like, what can I give? What can I bring to the table? Not what can I take? How can I? It's like a little child. That's the difference between a child and an adult. Children take things. They take. I want bottles. I want toys. I want this. I want PlayStation. But adults give. They give of themselves. What can I give? Man, it's too late for a lot of these black children. It's too late, man. Like I said, man, it takes a while. It takes a while to break some bad habits, man. You see the hunger and the thirst in these people. That's in reverse order of nature. You're supposed to be giving, or at least have that balance between give and take. You can't just take, and keep on taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. That's what children do. It's mine. It's my toy. These are my Jordans. I want them Jordans. Ay, 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 ay. Man, the 5 steps in the moral code is undefeated in this world. The more I see black men, you know, get their behinds handed to them, I always say, damn, well, if he was on the 5 steps in the moral code, that wouldn't have happened. Now there's no 100% guarantee that, something is not going to happen to you, but there's pretty much a 85 to 90% chance that you're going to be able to avoid 99.9% of the bull. You know, see, black men tend to have excuses, and we're not ones to deal in excuses. I mean, life does not deal in excuses, man. Life is very fickle, and it doesn't tend to deal in excuses. I mean, the life is, sometimes life it gives you, but it could also take away, man. And I mean, if you're not in the right position, it can be very harsh when it starts taking away. It's a give and take. But hopefully you will be on the right side of that. What can I bring to the table? What can I deliver? That's the mentality of men that are leaving this place. When men leave this place, they go to other places and say, what can I bring to this place? Now, some men, the wicked, they do go to other places, and they have they still have that wicked mentality, that childlike mentality, that little kid mentality where you want to take everything and you believe everything is yours and you don't want to share anything with anyone else. That's to be a child. That's what it means to be childlike, And black people have tried to show these other people how to share. When those people came to Africa, black people were open, they were sharing, they were kind, they would, I mean, they still doing it to this day. It's in them to share. They was always sharing, but then these people came along and decided that, we want to take. We want to take. We want to be children forever. We want to. I mean, their whole existence revolves around stealing, around taking things that don't belong to them, finding little loopholes, holding themselves not guilty, and just stealing. Black people are out here trying to negotiate with thieves. You out here trying to negotiate with thieves. But as I stated, man, I am very happy. I'm letting go. That's the most important thing. That's the first principle of the moral code anyway. You cannot want something for someone who doesn't want said thing for themselves. That is a very hard thing. It's like my heart goes out to my people, but I cannot want, it doesn't matter how much I want for them. It doesn't matter. If they don't want that for themselves, then, there's nothing I can do. It's sort of like your parents. Your parents, when they raising you, they want the best for you. But if you want to be an idiot, you want to go out there and do whatever you want, you just, you get that spirit of rebellion on you. You got that spirit of rebellion. You want to rebel against your parents, rebel against your father, rebel against your husband, rebel against the Most High. You got that spirit of rebellion on you. And I'm asking all of you brothers to examine that spirit. Is that spirit within you? Examine it. Are you dealing with the spirit of rebellion? Because our parents can want the best for us, but if all we want to do is focus on females, play PlayStation and drown ourselves in all kind of stupidity. You got to ask yourself, what are we leaving to the children? What are you handing off to your children? Nothing. I mean, what's that black dude? Some black dude wrote a book or did a movie, created a movie called Black Children Inherit Dust. They inherit dust. They inherit nothing. What are you passing on? Now some, black men are gonna be like, I don't have kids, so I ain't worried about that. See, this is not about taking, you know, because oftentimes when life takes from you, then you're around looking for those people who can help you, who can give to you. You're looking for them. Please help me. But I'm asking each of you brothers to examine your spirit. Examine your spirit, man. Are you rebelling against the Most High? Are you rebelling against what's right, logical, and makes sense? Like some of these simps who come over here, when they hear some of the things that we talk about over here, they rebel. They fight tooth and nail. They ready to, call up YouTube and write articles and call the police and get lawyers involved. Nonsense, trying to shut these words down. It's just hard, for them. They got that rebellious spirit on them. But I hope that you brothers know right from wrong, and that you don't, you're not rebelling against the Most High, man. Man has been rebelling against the Most High, forever. But man, see, I mean, like I said, man, it's hard, man. As soon as whenever those people came amongst the indigenous peoples helped them. They showed them things. They showed them how to survive. They showed, they gave them land. They did everything. I mean, but they're the savages. You know, they're the savages. The people that, I mean, it wasn't like they were coming out. I mean, uh till it wasn't till they found out that you were a bunch of takers that the bows and arrows came out, and the weapons and the spears and the rocks and whatever they had as weaponry. I mean, that's when that stuff came out. When they found, I mean, it wasn't like they saw you and they just wanted to chop your head off. They didn't have that spirit on them. They had the spirit of giving, of love, of giving to their fellow man. You know, even adopting some of their wicked ways. You know, even adopting some of their wicked ways. That's how much they were willing to give of themselves. You know, believing in their lies while they stole. You know, pretending to come as a benevolent force, but in all actuality, they were thieves. They were liars. They were con artists. They were thieves, pirates. You men are trying to negotiate with thieves. But when the Most High gives you a set of rules, laws, standards to govern your community and your behavior, you rebel. Ain't that something? On that note, I want to say peace. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you think. Get on the 5 steps and adopt the moral code.